If you're going on a family road trip, you probably dress for comfort. But the grandmother in Flannery O'Connor's most famous story chooses a navy blue straw hat, white violets, and a lace-trimmed collar. In a fatal accident, she wants to ensure that anyone seeing her dead on the highway will know she was a lady. This dark pragmatism is the hallmark of Flannery O'Connor. Writing in the mid-20th century, O'Connor built her stories around the friction of the American South, steering deeply flawed characters toward moments of violent, inevitable grace. The journey begins in 1953 as a family of 6 departs from Atlanta. They are headed for a 3-day vacation in Florida, leaving the city behind for the isolation of the rural highway. The grandmother, however, is fixated on a headline. A violent criminal calling himself the Misfit has escaped from the federal penitentiary and is headed toward Florida. She lobbies for a trip to Tennessee instead, insisting she couldn't answer to her conscience if she took the children toward such a criminal. Her warnings fall on deaf ears. Her son Bailey ignores her to focus on the newspaper. The children mock her, and the mother quietly feeds the baby. They are preoccupied with their own mundane comforts, treating the escaped killer as a remote, irrelevant abstraction. As the sedan gains speed, the family is physically hurtling down the highway, closing the distance to a murderer every hour, while remaining emotionally locked in petty internal bickering. This total, selfish absorption in their own trivial world is a liability. It renders the family oblivious to the physical threat approaching from the road ahead. Hours into the drive, the grandmother wakes from a nap and recalls an old plantation house she visited in her youth. She becomes obsessed with seeing it again, driven by a nostalgic desire to revisit a time when her status as a lady felt secure. Knowing Bailey won't stop for a landmark, she crafts a specific lie. She tells the children the house contains a secret panel where the family silver was hidden during the Civil War. The children respond with a violent tantrum, kicking the back of Bailey's seat until he angrily agrees to the detour. The car turns off the paved highway and onto a treacherous, unmaintained dirt track. With every mile, they move deeper into a red clay depression, cut off from the flow of traffic. A series of mundane, petty manipulations has transformed a simple vacation into a high-stakes detour. The grandmother's small lies have geometrically multiplied, leading the family into a landscape where they are completely alone. As the car bounces along the dirt road, a horrifying thought strikes the grandmother. The house she is looking for isn't in Georgia at all. It is in Tennessee. The physical shock of this realization causes her to kick her valise, releasing the cat she had hidden inside. The animal springs onto Bailey's neck, claws out. The car swerves, flips once, and lands in a roadside gulch. The family huddles in the ditch, bruised and shaking. Behind them, the woods rise up, described by O'Connor as gaping like a dark open mouth. A big, black, battered, hearse-like car appears on the hill above them. 3 men get out, armed with guns, and descend into the ditch. They watch the family with a steady, expressionless gaze. The grandmother stares at the man in silver-rimmed spectacles. She shrieks that she recognizes him. "You are the Misfit." The man smiles slightly and notes that it would have been better for everyone if she hadn't recognized him. By speaking his name aloud, the grandmother effectively signs the family's death warrant, closing the trap she unknowingly built. The Misfit appears scholarly and polite, even as he directs his accomplices to lead Bailey and the children into the woods to be shot. Left alone with the killer, the grandmother tries to bargain. She appeals to class, offers him money, and falls back on empty religious platitudes. Each layer of her identity disintegrates as pistol reports echo, providing no protection against the ditch. The Misfit explains that because he cannot remember the crime that originally sent him to the penitentiary, he believes all concepts of justice and punishment are thrown off balance. To him, there is no sense to the world, only meanness. The grandmother's lifelong performance as a lady is revealed as a hollow defense. It has no weight against a man who believes there is no real pleasure in life. The Misfit concludes that if Christ didn't raise the dead, there is nothing for a person to do but enjoy their remaining minutes by killing or burning. But as he speaks, his voice cracks with agony. He admits he wasn't there to see Christ's miracles for himself, revealing a sliver of human vulnerability beneath his nihilism. Seeing his twisted face, the grandmother's head clears. She stops begging for herself. She recognizes his humanity, murmuring, "Why, you're one of my babies," and reaches out to touch his shoulder. The Misfit recoils as if a snake bit him and shoots her 3 times. The absolute terror of death stripped away a lifetime of hypocrisy. In her final moment, the grandmother was forced past her selfish world to achieve a moment of genuine human connection.